go through the Numis Network Fast Track Boot Camp. This is a presentation that I put together. It's a fairly short presentation that I think will cover the basics of what people should be doing to quickly build their Numis Network business. And I'll tell you, it is just such an exciting time for Numis Network. Ever since the announcement of the buyback guarantee, I mean, my phone has been ringing off the hook. I've seen more and more people prospecting. I've seen more and more people bringing people on board. In fact, earlier today, it was kind of cool. I was on a three-way call with somebody, and this person was actually an associate. And because of the buyback guarantee, they had someone ready to join as an executive. So this three-way call, I had an associate who, as you may or may not know, an associate doesn't even make a fast track bonus. And so he quickly upgraded so that we could bring this executive on board. So I did a three-way and brought two people on board. So it was pretty cool. And so it's just been a really, really good time here at Numis Network. We're growing each and every day. And with the increase in interest and alternative income and, of course, gold and silver, we're just set to really do some good things here. Now, I'm going to go through this Numis Network Fast Track Boot Camp. I'm going to do it in a fairly quick fashion, but I will stick around for your questions. This is, I know some of you are going to ask, this is going to be recorded. In fact, this is going to replace my training that is the Step 1 training on Step 2 training on numisgrowth.com. That's a video I've been meaning to update for quite a while, and we're going to update that. And so let's get started. All right, so here's what I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover what not to do when you start your Numis Network business, how to properly start, how to start building by being an inviter, how to do three-way calls, how to get on the fast track, and some closing tactics for you. First things first. Guys, you got to understand, network marketing is the shortcut. There is no shortcut to the shortcut. Can a doctor build a residual income that'll last him the rest of his life in 3 years? No. Can a lawyer? No. Can a politician? No. Can an athlete? No. No one can, except a network marketer. If you hone in and focus on building Numis Network right now, and you really drive it home, you prospect every day, you follow what we suggest in our system, you do every single thing, and you do that for the next 36 months, do you realize that you could set yourself for life? And so understand, network marketing is the shortcut. Don't look for a shortcut to the shortcut. Don't look for a, hey Ray, if I do a billboard where 1,000 people join, hey Ray, if I hire a team of mathematical genius chimpanzees out of Laos that will do SEO for me every single. Don't look for the crazy things that will get you massive amounts of crazy signups or something like that. Follow the system. This is a human being system. This is a person-to-person kind of deal. Now you can use the internet. You can use offline. You can do it online or offline. You just can't do it without a telephone. And anyone that tells you has never actually built a long withstanding network marketing business. So, this is not a bash against the internet. This is not a bash against anything. But just understand, there is no shortcut to the shortcut. And those that look for that shortcut end up spending a lot of money for not a lot of results. Now, this is from Mark Yarnell. This is so powerful. And you're going to hear me talk about Yarnell quite a few times because I just think his training is just awesome. Leaders who stick with a company for years and build new leaders each year become very wealthy. There's a big difference between 10 one-year careers and one 10-year career. We all hear about the 97% failure rate in network marketing, but did you know there's actually a 97% success rate? Yarnell talks about it. Now, Mark Yarnell, he wrote the book, Your First Year in Network Marketing. He said, and in the last, he's been in network marketing for 24 years and has made over $30 million. He said there's a 97% chance of someone having success in a company if they're with that company for 10 years. Now, that's something that most people don't hear. Now, is there a 97% chance if you stick with one job for 10 years? Of course not. One occupation, one industry? No, there's not. And so you have to understand this is a long-term business. It's not a short-term, 3-month deal. This is something that you increase your chances of success the longer that you are with a company, especially if you're following a system. So let me share with you a few things not to do. Number one, don't send out a mass email, text, or etc. Please don't send out something that says, this is a ground floor opportunity, this is your chance to get in at the top, this is unbelievable, we're all going to make millions of dollars. Don't do that. Here's the unfortunate part about this. By the time you determine that this doesn't work, because it doesn't, okay, by the time you figure that out, you've already burnt out your leads. You've already alerted them that you're going to be calling them about an opportunity. Once you realize that the phone is the way to build your business, you're going to call them and they're going to say, oh, I saw your email, I'm not interested. And see, they didn't even read your email. They didn't click on any links, they didn't watch any videos, but you gave it up. You gave up your element of surprise by sending them a mass email or text, so don't do that. You also don't want to be salesy or pushy. Don't call people, especially the people, a lot of times we tend to try to close down the people that are close to us. Well, Aunt Sally, she really owes me. She should join my business. I helped her move last month. Okay, don't be salesy or pushy. You're simply looking for people that are open. You're looking for people in the looking zone. You're looking for people that are looking. Okay, you're looking for people that want more time, more freedom, more money, more whatever. You don't have to be salesy or pushy because this business is not about sales. I heard my friend Larry Beecham say this. He says that, when someone calls Numis Network and they say, please patch me through to the sales department, your cell phone doesn't ring. You're not the sales department. You're the marketing department. You are a marketer. That's what network marketing, not network selling. You're a network marketer. And so you are marketing and promoting an opportunity. That's what you're doing. Now, we get paid two ways, and that's retailing and recruiting. And I'm going to share with you some different things that you can do to boost that. Number one, don't get frustrated. This is sheerly a numbers game. You're going to have, I don't care who you are. Here I am as the number one income earner in the company. I still get more no's than yeses. So no matter who you are going to get people tell you no. That's just going to happen. That's what's going to happen to you. It's okay. Don't get frustrated with that. Don't think you need to know everything. This may be, in my opinion, the number one mistake network marketers make is they say too much. They try to explain the opportunity. They try to explain the compensation plan. They try to explain numismatic coins. They say too much. Well, in my opinion, the number two mistake people make is they try to learn too much. Don't think you need to know everything about the back office. Guys, I don't even know everything about the back office. Don't think you have to know everything about the BBS. Don't think you need to know everything about coins. Don't think you need to know everything about anything. In fact, a lot of times, the less you know, the more powerful it is because you can't explain it to people. The more that you try to explain it to people, the less likely you are to build your business. And that is reality. So how to start? Now, you've seen this before. I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, no, I got to make a list. Oh, everyone tells me to make a list. All right, why do they tell you that? Because it works. Okay, now, let me give you the vice versa of this. If you're someone who refuses to make a list, then I just want to say congratulations. That clearly demonstrates that you do not have a fast need to make money. And if you don't have a fast need to make money, don't make a list. A list is the fastest way for you to make an income. It is the people that you know, and I can tell you every person that joins anybody is the warm market of somebody. And so even the people that join online, that find a website, that whatever, they're the warm market of somebody too. It's just someone didn't approach them. And so think about, the thing that I like to say, think about the 20 people you would most like to vacation with. The 20 people you would most like to vacation with, call them first. They're probably the funnest people to be around. Why not call them and see if they're going to get into your business? And all you're doing is inviting them to check out a presentation. So, wedding list, birthday list, friends list, who would you like to go on a cruise with? Who reads success books? Who goes to seminars? Who likes gold and silver? Who do you pay money to? Now, here's a fun project. Who do you know without a shadow of a doubt would tell you no? Call them. This is a fun project. Call them and say, hey, I know this isn't for you. I know that you're completely not looking for this, but I have to mark you off my list. I just got involved in a gold and silver home-based business. I can send you some information if you're interested, but more than likely you're not. Do you realize if you say that, you're actually, number one, you're going to get out the jitters because you've covered the people that, or you know, are going to tell you no. And number two, every time I've had someone go through that project, every single time, do you realize somebody signs up? Somebody signs up. You know, the people that you know are going to say no to this or won't be interested, there's one or two of them that will join. But see, you'll never know that unless you invite them to check it out. And so I can tell you, this exercise right here, making a list, and it is not burning them out. You're not calling them and telling them how much money they're going to make. You're not calling them and explaining the comp plan. You're not calling them and telling them how great the numismatic coins are. You're not calling them and hammering on them what you think is a no-brainer. All you're doing is you're inviting them to check out a presentation. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. And so you want to invite, not explain or present. This is especially true when you're brand new at Numis Network. You want to be an inviter, not an explainer, not a presenter. You want to analyze how long you're talking to people, and if you're saying more than 3 minutes, and I mean this, set an egg timer beside you, set a timer on the stove, set your watch. If you're saying more than 3 minutes to people, you're saying too much. And let me give you an analogy here. You're not selling refrigerators, okay? If you come in and let's say you're at Ray's Appliance Store, okay? And you come in and you're wanting to buy a refrigerator. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to sell you a refrigerator. I'm going to tell you the cubic, square feet or inches or whatever the heck it is. I'm going to tell you about the water lines. I'm going to tell you about the types of ice cubes you can make. I'm going to tell you about the size of the drawers, how they slide out, how it's stainless steel, how it's, stain resistant. I'm going to tell you all about the fridges. Why? Because I'm selling you a fridge. I'm not teaching you to sell fridges. You see, you will never make $100,000 or more in network marketing by being a salesperson. You will only make that amount by being duplicatable. And I know that's not a real word, but we use it all the time. So I'm going to keep using it. You are more easy to be duplicated if you are not a salesman. When I talk to somebody and they say, oh no, I don't have any experience in sales, I say, perfect. That means I don't have to detrain you. You see, if you're a master salesman, you are unlike 99% of the population. You cannot be duplicated. And so sometimes I talk to someone who's been Sandler sales trained or Carnegie or Zig Ziglar trained, whatever, and they're non-duplicatable. I have to detrain them because this is not about how many people can you close. It's not about being that pushy salesperson. It's about having a duplicatable system that Farmer Joe, Teacher Jane, anybody can follow. And so stop selling fridges. You're not trying to convince. Don't try to sell fridges on a voicemail. Don't try to sell fridges in person. Don't try to sell fridges over the phone. All you're doing is inviting people to check out a presentation. And so you can use third-party resources. Here are two of mine. And I'm actually about to, I do keep these updated, and I'm going to be updating them shortly. But numispromotion.com, that is perfect for someone that you either don't know if they have any experience in network marketing, or someone that you know doesn't have experience in network marketing. Send them to numispromotion.com. The only thing they can do on that page is they can click play on the video that I have on there. So that's all they can do. They can only click play. That's it. Now, you have numispromotion.com. Now, what if you talk to somebody that is very familiar with network marketing? Well, they don't want to sit through and hear about the economy. They don't want to hear about Kiyosaki. They don't want to hear about residual income. They get all that. So let's just skip to the chase. And so for those people that you talk to that are experienced network marketers, send them to Numis, the number 4, networkers.com. Numis4networkers.com. There's a video there, and I explicitly say this is for networkers only. If you're not a network marketer, click away because you're not going to understand it. That's where I get more in depth on the compensation plan, and that's where you really, and by the way, both of those videos have a very high percentage of people that get interested after they watch them. And if you want to know, I'm going to talk about three-way calls here shortly. Criteria for getting myself and the other leaders on a three-way call is that they've seen a presentation. It doesn't have to be my presentation. You know, Cedric has presentations, Dave Wood has presentations, Chris Kent has presentations. It could be a physical presentation, could be a conference call, whatever. Excuse me, that they've seen a presentation. That's a criteria to get somebody on a three-way call. Let's talk about that. So after they've seen a presentation, especially when you're brand new, do a three-way call. So here's how to do it. Number one, you want to introduce. Now, people, I'll tell you, I got a question here. Absolutely. So the question is, when I say less than 3 minutes, should that be the entire conversation? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Your conversation. So let me give you some examples. When I first got involved in Numis Network, I had failed in a dozen different network marketing companies. I had been in Juice, I had been in Travel twice, I'd been in Prepaid, I've been in WildGreen, I've been in Shop to Earn, been in all these, other companies had not had success with. So everyone in my cell phone knew when I was calling them, what's he up to now? What's he into now? Right? They knew. So I had, in most people's eyes that simply aren't hungry, I would have, quote unquote, burnt my warm market. That's a real common phrase that people love to use because it seems like the perfect excuse, except guess what? I just burnt my warm market more than you did. Okay? But guess what? I called them anyway. Why? Because I never pitched gold and silver at a time when gold and silver was so hot, at a time in our economy when alternative income is so interesting to so many people. And so here's what I said, and you could time it. Mine is less than a minute. If you're not so good, then less than 3 minutes, you should be fine. Okay? Here's what I said. I called him up. I said, listen, I'm just gonna shoot straight. I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. This may or may not be for you, but I just got involved in a gold and silver home-based business. If you're interested, I can send you some information, and if you're not, no big deal. That was it. That's my line. And so what do I say now? What are some other alternatives for you? Well, when I am out and about and I talk to a waiter or waitress that is good, if I talk to a realtor that's good, and when I say good, if someone's negative, if someone seems nasty, I do not present this opportunity. Why? Because I don't want to work with them. Okay, I choose who I work with. All right, or should I say, I invite who I want to. And so if I'm out and about and I talk to somebody, let's say a waiter or waitress, I'll say, you know what, just throwing it out there. This is after we have a couple talks, a couple, sentences, right? Still under 3 minutes, but just throwing it out there. But would you be interested in I'm sorry, let me back up. Don't say, would you be interested? Say, would you be open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? Do you know when you say it like that, just throwing it out there, would you be open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? Do you know for them to say no, that's saying that they're closed. People don't like to say that they're closed. So just throwing it out there, but would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're doing? Most people are going to say either yes or, well, what is it? Well, it may or may not be for you, but if you give me your information, I'll send you a little video, and if you're interested, great, and if not, no big deal. You see how easy that is? And by the way, some of you taking notes, this is going to be recorded. It's going to be uploaded to numisgrowth.com. It's under step 2, but I'll run through it again. Just throwing it out there, but would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? They'll either say yes, or they'll say, what is it? Or they may say no. If they say no, say, perfect, no problem. Well, do you know 2 people that have been affected by the economy that would want to make extra money? Throw that out there. So what if they say yes, or what is it? Well, if they say yes, or what is it? Well, it may or may not be for you. But if you give me your information, I'll send you a little video, And if you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. Very, very quick. So this is about quickness. This is not about how great you are at presenting. It's not about how eloquent you are at speaking on the history of numismatics. It's not about your ability to explain a compensation plan. It's not about how smart you are. It's about how quickly can you invite somebody to check out a presentation. That's it. And so once you get them to watch a presentation, okay, once you get them to watch a presentation and you get them back on the phone, in fact, before we even cover three ways, let me go back here a little bit. Let me go back. Okay. After they've seen a presentation, you want to ask them when you call them back. By the way, they will never call you back. When you tell somebody, hey, watch this, how soon can you watch this video? Even if they love the video, they'll never call you back. You have to follow up. So follow up with them and then call them and ask and say, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video? And if they say yes, yes, I did get a chance to watch that video, say, awesome. Well, just curious, what did you like? And let them talk. Let them talk. Listen to all the things that they like about the business. Don't interrupt them, and don't tell them what you like, because what you like doesn't matter. They don't care what you like. You care what they like, because they're telling you how to bring them into this business. Now, if they go on and on and on, and they go bananas, where they're just talking about Numis Network and gold and silver, how it's revolutionary and it's awesome, I want you to say this line, and I got it from Mr. David Wood. You may have heard of him. Say, sounds to me like you're ready to join. And then shut up. Okay? Shut up. You would be shocked and amazed at how well that line works. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. Okay? Now, what if you ask them, well, what did you like? And they say, well, you know what? I like gold and silver, but I have some questions. If you are new, if you attempt to answer their questions, you will reduce your closing percentage by 90%. I hope I'm being clear. If you're new, and you attempt to answer their questions, you will reduce your percentage of closing by 90%. Does that mean you'll never sign someone? No. It just means that you'll only sign one out of the possible 10 that you would have signed had you got someone on a three-way call. So let's talk about that. Three-way call. So first of all, when you want to introduce, now number one, have a list of people that you can contact. Now, a list of people, you have myself, you have my sponsor, Chris Peraldi, you have multiple 5 stars in the company, you have your personal upline that you can reach out to. Have that list ready. And if you need help with coming up with that list, send me an email at rayhigdon@rayhigdon.com, and I'll do my best to help you with that list. You want to have a few different people, because here's the reality. The leaders are on three-way calls all the time. This is something that, today I think I did 6, maybe 7 different three-way calls. That's a typical day. Some days I do more. So there are certainly some days you won't get a hold of me right away, just like any of the other leaders. This isn't a source of frustration. You just move on to the next leader and you try to locate the next leader. What if you can't get any leaders? What if you try to reach out to 52 different leaders and all of them are busy? Well, you use that and tell the prospect and say, my God, Numis Network is blowing up so much, I can't reach any of the leaders. I'm going to have to get back to you. Now, you don't think that's powerful? When people know that you're busy, don't you know that? Don't you know when people know that you're busy that you actually seem more attractive? It's actually a good thing. Okay? And so this is something, and by the way, I'm gonna skip questions until the very end, and so I'm gonna cover those questions at the very end. So if you're asking questions right now, just hold for a second, and I will be covering these. So when you introduce on a three-way call, you want to build up the leader that you're going to have. Why? It is not an ego thing. It is a posture thing. If you posture and you build up the prospect, you're going to reduce your chances of signing them up greatly. If you build up the leader, you're going to increase the chances of getting someone on board greatly. And so you want to introduce the leader that you're going to get on the phone. Now, this could be by texting them first. It could be by calling them ahead of time and saying, hey, at this time I'm going to try and get a hold of you. By the way, hardly any three-way calls happen at the exact time you think they're going to happen, so understand if a leader doesn't set aside their time. That's why you have a list. That's why you reach out to multiple people at the same time. But you want to build up the leader and then introduce and then be quiet. Now, there are going to be points that you really believe your prospect is going to need to hear. Just don't say them. Most of the people that you get on a three-way call, any of the leaders has done hundreds of these three-way calls. And so we have a certain way that we lead people down a path. Let the leader do their magic. Let them work their business. Okay? Let them do the heavy lifting for you to build your business. Okay? And like I said, have multiple options. Now, here's some help with closing. Urgency is the name of the game. You want to always be busy. Why should you only talk to people for 3 minutes? Because that's what busy people do. I never meet with one person individually and do a presentation. Never. Why? Because it's not duplicatable. If I sit with someone at Starbucks and I pop open my laptop and I do a full presentation, do you think they can do that? 99 times out of 100, they cannot. So what do? When I sit down with a person one-on-one, because I certainly do one-on-ones, I'll talk with them. I'll see what's going on in their head. How's the business treating them? What's the market like? And I'll find out what are their problems. Okay, what are their problems? And then at the end of the conversation, I'll say, hey, by the way, I got a video I'd like you to check out. It may or may not be for you, but I'll send it over to you. Very nonchalant, very short and sweet, and it's something that they can also do. That's why I lean on third-party tools so much, because they are so duplicatable. Help them understand why they should sign up now. I'll tell you, this, if you can master this, you will increase the people that join with you by 90%. Why? Because people will stay on the fence their entire lives. Why are you calling back people and they're saying, yeah, I'm interested, but yeah, man, I'll get back to you? Because they have no urgency. They have no reason. Why should they sign up now? Why is now a good time for them to join on board? And so every person that I talk to on the phone, I tell them, hey, by the way, when I hang up the phone with you, I have more prospects to call. Now, some of those prospects may be joining the business, and if you're in the business, they'll fall under you. That's how this business works. Pretty cool. So you'll also master the takeaway. There are going to be people that try to take away your dreams. There are going to be people that say, I'm not interested, or, I don't want to do this. That's fine. Tell them, hey, maybe this isn't for you. I tell people, if you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. I tell people, I'm going to build it with or without you. I would love to do it with you. See how that works? See that, when you stop needing someone to join, you'll start getting more people join. When you stop needing something so badly, you start getting more results in your life. Now, this is something, again, from Dave Wood, very, very powerful. When you have someone on a roll, when they are pumped up, when they're rocking it, when they're saying, oh, I love gold and silver, I love this comp plan, I'm da-da-da, sounds to me like you're ready to get started. How would you like your checks to be made out to? Start taking their information. Don't send them to a website. Don't say, hey, go to joinnumis.com or numisnetwork.com/. Don't send them to a website. You will greatly reduce your chances of them signing up if you send them to a website. Take their information now. If they're, one thing that I've seen people do is you can walk them through on the website. I prefer to take their information and put it in myself. That's just my preference. Okay. Now, let me preface this slide. This is not for the mild-mannered. This is not for the person. This slide right here, okay? The rest of it is perfect for everybody. That's how you should build a business. Very basic, okay? This slide is not for the mild-mannered. This is not for the person that only wants to make $500 a month. This is not for the person that doesn't want to be a 4-star director or higher in this business, okay? And so don't be overwhelmed by this slide if you are content with only making $300 to $500 a month. Okay? This slide is not for that person. Just want to preface it. But the fast track to success is start doing your own meetings. If you start doing your own meetings, do you know that the person that holds the clicker or the person holding the marker is the person that makes the most amount of money, period? There's a presentation and a script in your back office under downloads. And let me tell you this, it will not, not maybe, not possibly, it will not be perfect at first or perhaps ever. Okay, I want you to keep in mind, your goal as a network marketer is just to market this product, to market this opportunity, to market our team, okay? And it is to build the belief that other people can do it. It is not to sell. I'm not going around saying, hey, look at how awesome this attaché case is and this unbelievable coin, it's fantastic. I'm not selling that, okay? I'm giving the possibility that everyone else can do the exact same system that I do. You see, people right now in this economy are looking for ways to make money. That's what they care about. Now, here's what you need to know about our coins. They're cooler than juice, they're cooler than hair gel, they're cooler than car wax, they're cooler than all that other stuff. And in fact, we now have a 100% 5-year buyback guarantee. If you don't know about that, definitely check out the website. But do you realize what that does? That means, someone today was trying to pitch me, a network marketing company, that the company would not buy the product back from the reps. Now that to me is just weird. That to me just sounds like high risk. I don't want to be stuck with a garage full of stuff that I can't sell. Do you realize Numis Network is the lowest risk network marketing company on planet Earth, and it is that way right now, and it probably will stay that way. Could a juice or a technology company or a travel company or service company, could they ever offer to buy back their own product from the reps at 100%? Of course not. Absolutely, of course not. And so we're just the lowest risk. Everything else is high risk network marketing. And so understand, your meetings will not be perfect. I'm guaranteeing you that. The sooner you start doing presentations, the sooner your team will too. Again, on this fast track, attend Numis University. If you are at all serious about your business, attend Numis University. Now, if you buy a McDonald's franchise, you're going to pay $1 million. And then you're going to attend what's called Hamburger University. That cost you $100,000. 10% of what you paid for that franchise, you're going to spend in attending a school, a university. Now, if you bought a company for $1 million and they had training that was guaranteed to help your business, would you attend it? Of course you would. There's not even a question. Of course you would. There's no question. You would not read McDonald's for Dummies, right? You wouldn't go to your local library and pull out the idiot's guide to running a McDonald's franchise. No, you would go to Hamburg University. And so the minute I joined Numis Network, I did not treat it like a $500 business. I treated it like $1 million business. And so if you are building $1 million business, you'll attend Numis University. You also want to get on the Success Monthly Auto Ship. That's in your back office. It's $9 a month. It's ridiculous. You get book breakdowns, you get a magazine, you get a Numis specific audio CD. That is in your back office under auto ships. You can just add it for $9 a month. That is completely insane to not do that. Why? We are inundated with negativity nonstop. There's all negative stuff all around us on the news, on the media, and magazines, and newspaper articles. It's everywhere. You got to have more positive stimulus and more positive input into your life, or you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle with this thing called network marketing. Now, there's a book out there called Your First Year in Network Marketing. If you buy one book, just one, I would highly suggest buying that one. You can get it for, $10, $15, something like that on Amazon. You can get it pretty cheap, right? That one book, very, very powerful. Now, there was a webinar that was recently done with a few different internet marketers and Mark Yarnell. Now, Mark Yarnell, as I said, guy's made $30 million in network marketing. And he says, if you want to make $100,000 a month within 12 months, now keep in mind, I told you this slide is not for the mild-mannered. It's not for the person who wants to make $500 a month. Okay? If you want to make $100,000 a month within 12 months, Mark Yarnell, industry expert, says talk to 30 people a day, 5 times a week. At the end of 1 month, you're going to have 95% of the people that you talk to will not do anything. Okay? At the end of 1 month, you'll have 1 leader. At the end of 12 months, you'll have 12 leaders, and you'll be making $100,000 a month. Now, as the #1 income earner here in Numis Network, I can tell you, after I heard that, I went through my back office and I started counting leaders. I started looking at my business, and I can tell you that is right on point. It's absolutely right on point. And that, you want to go out there and make it happen. You got to understand this is a numbers game. For those of you who want to make that unbelievable, life-changing, life-altering type income, that's how you can do it. That is how you can do it. I do have people in the team that talk to 30 people a day. And I know what people are thinking. They're thinking, how do they do that? How is that even possible? Well, there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways that you can do that. I know people that are realtors that pull up the MLS and call realtors in their city. That's one way. I know people that they prospect 30 people a day on Facebook chat. I know people that do this offline. People that go to networking events, gather as many business cards as possible, and follow up with 30 people the next day after that event. I know people that there's so many different ways you can do it. I know people like, for example, Mark Yarnell is a paraglider pilot, or he used to be, or maybe he still is, I'm not sure. He bought lists. You can go online and buy lists of paraglider pilots. And so he would call paraglider pilots, 30 people a day. That's how he built $1 million business. That's how you can do it too. There are so many different ways for you to get that lead. Stop having how do I get leads? Go make leads. Okay, go make them. You can get them from, again, Facebook prospecting. There's a ton of information on numisgrowth.com. A lot of people talk about Facebook prospecting. Not that difficult to figure out. Okay, you can do that. So here's some words of wisdom. Go for no. If you understand that every person you talk to, okay, you're going to have about a 5 to 10%, especially when you're new, you're going to have about a 5 to 10% close rate. There's going to be about a 5 to 10% of the people you talk to that are going to say yes. Well, as long as you're an executive, because executives do earn commission, associates do not. But as long as you're an executive, you're gonna make $100 for every person that joins, right? Well, if it takes you 10 to 20 to get $100, well, then that means for every no, you're making $5 to $10 each. That's not bad. How many $5 and $10 bills would you like to collect? Then keep going for more no's. Go for more no's. Makes sense. You never want to get hung up on any prospect. You're going to have your brother-in-law who was real big in Amway that would be awesome, and they're going to tell you no. And you're going to spend a month going back and forth with them, trying to get them to understand, and you're going to break the 3-minute rule, and you're going to beg and plead them, you're going to chase them and beg them and bug them, you're going to try to get leaders on the phone with them. He's still going to say no. Don't get hung up on any one prospect. You're going to talk to someone in Malaysia who's built a huge army of people in some Berry MLM out there, and they're going to sound like they're unbelievable. You're going to meet them on Facebook. You're going to be so pumped up, and then you're going to be all distraught because we're not open in Malaysia till 2015 or whatever. Stop doing that nonsense. Don't get hung up on any prospect. It completely weakens you, and it clearly demonstrates that you don't understand that this is a numbers game. Just a numbers game, guys. You don't have to get frustrated or hung up on any one prospect. Understand, your goal should not to be to sign up everybody. I can't sign up everybody. The top recruiter, I mean, David Wood, he sponsors, people all the time. He doesn't sign up everybody. Nobody signs up everybody. So don't beat yourself up for that. You're not going to sign up everyone anytime. There's never going to be a time in your life where every person you talk to is going to join. It's just not going to happen. So don't beat yourself up over that. It's just a numbers game. Understand this, not get rich quick. It's get filthy rich in 12 to 36 months. And so remember to smile. This is not that serious. Do you realize we're not heart surgeons? Do you realize that if we goof up a presentation, no one's passing out, no one's dying. It's not that big of a deal. For example, I blog every single day, different types of training at rayhigdon.com. Today I talked about how most people look for how to build a business, and what they really have that they don't understand is they have a why not to build their business, and I talk about that. We also have our Numis training page at numisgrowth.com, and so now let me hear your question. So let's get started here. Does an executive make anything by signing a $75 rep? No. In fact, do you realize you're doing people a disservice if you sign somebody up at 75 bucks? Because it's almost impossible for them to make their money back. And so if someone tells me I'm going to come on board at the $75, I tell them to save their money, because they're so less likely to make their money back at 75 because you don't get the $100 bonus. And so I try to stay away from disabling people and bringing them on board as an associate, because it doesn't serve them. All right. On the negative side of the coin, if the price drops and people want to sell and Numis goes out of business, what good is the buyback? Well, if I'm hit by a piano tomorrow, what good is my guarantees? They're not very good. And, so, I think, you can definitely come up with the sky is falling theory on everything. What if there's anarchy in the streets and people are in bread lines and people are shooting each other for, meatballs? Well, you can come up with that scenario too. But, I guess, if you believe, if you completely lack faith in this company, being around for the long term, probably not a fit for you. And this isn't anything personal. This is to everybody on the line here. If you're constantly worrying about what negativity is going to happen, you're probably going to struggle with network marketing. If you notice, every single person that walks across stage that gets a big check, that wins a car, that wins a trip, do you notice they're pretty positive people? They're not thinking as they get that check on stage, they're not wondering if that check is going to bounce. And I've just noticed that if there's one trait that signifies if someone will be successful or not, attitude is the number one trait. It's not talent. It's not skill. It's not good looks. It's not excellent presentation skills. It's attitude. Attitude is the number one thing that will make or break you here in network marketing. What do I do if someone's on Facebook and I'm having a conversation and you ask them if they're open and they are currently in a company and they say, I'll look at your company if you look at mine? I tell them I'm not interested. I'm a very straight shooter. I'm not going to bother. If someone says, hey, I'll look at yours if you look at mine, here's what that says. It says they're weak. It says that they are not a strong person in network marketing, because a strong person in network marketing would never say that. And so I just tell them, I'm like, no thanks. I'm pumped on mine. Good luck to you. Again, understanding that this is a numbers game, I would simply tell them that. But good question. All right, let's see. Do I send a warm market prospect to the Numis promotion site or always try to do one-on-one presentation? I never do one-on-one presentation. Never. I never ever do one-on-one presentations. I may do a one-on-one sit down, where I sit down with someone and just chit chat with them. I will not present Numis Network to somebody one-on-one. I won't do it. Um, if you do, then I would suggest not presenting, but actually playing the video. You could download numispromotion.com to your laptop and play it for somebody, but I would not. I just wouldn't conduct a presentation one-on-one with somebody. I'm either going to try to get them to watch the online video, or you could play it on your laptop. Me, I'm kind of busy, and I want people to understand I'm busy, so I actually don't want to sit down and play a 30-minute video in front of them. I would rather them do it on their time, because then I can prospect more, because it is, again, numbers game. How much does Numis University cost? It's ridiculous. It is the cheapest. I shouldn't say cheapest. It is the best price training I have ever seen. It's $99. It's $99 for a Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. It's ridiculous. So the next Numis University, I do believe it's going to be on the West Coast again, because we're having our national convention in August in Tampa. So I do believe that is going to be the case. I don't know the dates. I don't know the city for sure. I believe it's going to be in California. Gold and silver will never go to zero. I agree with you. I really do. And also, actually, we have a celebrity on the line here. Chris, and it's Chris Kent. I think Chris is responding to the person of, hey, what if this company, goes downtown? Chris, Ian, and Jake have been in their own businesses for 16 years and have owned multiple businesses, and none have ever gone out of business. So, just something to kind of rest assured that at least their track record helps predict their future, and that's a good thing. How do you handle your follow-up list, and can I be added to the third-party list? I'm not sure what that means. How I handle my follow-up is I actually plug it into my phone in my calendar so that I'm reminded. And so if I talk to somebody and I say, how soon can you watch the Numis promotion video? And they tell me 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern the next day, I say, all right, perfect. Well, I'm real busy, but I'll call you at 4 p.m. Now, I cannot remember to save my life, okay? So I'm not, the Matt DeMeo of network marketing. I have to remind myself. And so I will go into my phone, into calendar, and write myself a note so that it alerts me and tells me when to call that person. That's how I handle it. I'm not sure if that's actually your question, but if that is, then hopefully that helped. Big Mac, you're going to be at the St. Augustine Gun Club. Well, I'm going to be in Dallas on Thursday and Friday, and then in Canada. So I'm probably not going to make that. But I definitely appreciate the invite. What's the best approach to use when you're trying to get a couple together to conduct a presentation in-home? That way I don't have to conduct a presentation twice. You can just be straightforward about it. It's kind of funny. I really, really rarely run into this where, someone says I got to talk to the missus, or vice versa, I got to talk to the husband. I really don't run into that very much, and I don't know if it's because I don't have that as an issue or something. I'm not sure. But if you are running into that problem, then I would just try to get them together, or suggest, hey, why don't you watch the video online together? Watch that. I have had that happen where both of them watched it separately or at the same time. What if someone is adamant about selling you their business? I asked someone, does their company buy their products back in 5 years? And she said there was no need to buy them back. I guess I'd say, awesome. Good for you. Hopefully all your reps think that too. That's what I would say. You know, that it's just, you know, what if someone's adamant about selling you their business? Okay, you know, fine. I'm not sellable. And so I just don't listen. And, you know, I don't have time to listen to every single presentation. I get pitched, you know, as you guys do, you know, 10, 15 different things a day. And, you know, I just don't have time. I don't have time for that crap. You know, there's so many people looking for an opportunity, and there are also people not happy in their current companies as well. You know, I don't necessarily target other companies, but I know when I'm talking to somebody, you know, if they say something like, hey, I'll look at yours if you look at mine, that's just a weak person talking there. That is not someone making a lot of money in their company. And so that's someone that's probably easily swayed, and I would let them know that I'm the alpha dog. You know, when you're talking to somebody, a lot of times they're trying to see who's the alpha dog. You know, who is the person that has the most posture? Who's the person that has the most belief? And the person that has the most belief usually wins that. Do I favor smaller venues as opposed to hotel meetings? And when you do hotel meetings, are you targeting warm and cold markets? Um, I prefer packed meetings. I prefer standing room only. I prefer, you know, if I believe there's going to be 100 people in the room, I'm going to put out 50 chairs because I want it to frantically look like we're scrambling to cover. And anyone that's been to my meetings, by the way, will vouch for that. We had a Super Saturday where we had to scramble for chairs, and that was intentional. I could have had all those chairs in that room, but I didn't want to because I want people to have the feeling that the thing is packed, that we got more than we expected. You know, that's powerful. And so I prefer, you know, if there's only a few people, I would rather it be cramped in a smaller room than have a few people in a large room. And as far as when I do hotel meetings, am I targeting warm and cold markets? Why not? Why not target cold markets? You know, so I'll blast, you know, if I'm doing an opportunity meeting, I'll blast it on Facebook and hope that cold market comes. The reality is it's pretty rare to get large amounts of cold market people in there. But, you know, I will market the heck out of it because what are we? We are not salesmen, we're marketers. We are marketers and promoters. If you simply promote events, you know, one thing that I don't see anyone doing, okay, I don't see anybody doing in this entire company, and that is, I'm going to be in Dallas on Thursday. How many of you people know people in Dallas? Okay, obviously if you're in Dallas, then you know people, but what about those of you who are not in Dallas? If you know people in Dallas, why wouldn't you call them and say, hey, go to this event? If you know people in Tampa, why wouldn't you call people in Tampa and tell them? I would be scouring the Numis Network back office, look at the calendar tab, and I would look at, do I know any people in any of those cities? And if I did, I would invite them to those meetings. Hope that makes sense. Wow, what's my vision for Numis Network 5 to 7 years from today? Whoo, my goodness. What's my vision? You know, I believe in 5 years we're going to be $1 billion company. That's what I believe. Now, I am not I don't have the 20 years experience in network marketing, such as some of the other leaders here. That's just my vision. You know, what's my personal goal? You know, my goal is to get this to $1 million a month. That's my personal goal. You know, why? Just because I think it's cool. Just because I think it's fun. I think we can do this. We're in early in a company that has really got a fantastic niche with fantastic leaders, and that's reality. You can have a great product, you can have a great comp plan, but if your leaders don't know what they're doing, none of that matters. You know, I believe we're going to be $1 billion company. I believe the people on this line right now, which a lot of you won't be with us in 5 to 7 years, unfortunately. I hope you are, but that's the reality. But the people that do stick with us, the people that do have vision and faith, and the people that do have discipline that follow, you're going to be pretty darn set for the rest of your life. And this is why we're attracting so many leaders into this company, is because of the vision of this company and the leaders. Yes, I am going to re-record the Numis promotion and the Numis for Networkers with the guarantee. Good point, Diane. The cost of Numis University is a tax write-off. Yes, if you are an associate and you haven't upgraded, you do not get commissions. I don't know if there's any commissions you get, but you don't get the fast track. So if you bring on, and this is why I don't bring on associates, because you're literally setting it against them. You're making it so difficult for them to make their $75 back. Do you realize it's infinitely easier to make your $500 back than $75? Because let's run a scenario. Let's say that you're an associate and you bring on board 5 people, 5 executives. Now that would be a miracle. If someone didn't have the belief level in Numis Network that they were only an associate to bring in 5 executives, it'd be unbelievable, but let's say you did. Well, you would simply miss out on $500. You would not receive that. 0. Even if you upgraded, it is too late. You've already missed that $500. And so here's what I know. You can't get to second base with one foot on first. And so if you're comfortably hugging onto that associate level like a Care Bear, teddy bear, okay, it will not produce an income, and it is impossible for you to build an empire. Sometimes you gotta burn the boats. Sometimes you gotta cut the lines. Sometimes you gotta release the brakes. And that is having the faith in this company and what our team is doing right now, and upgrading to executive. So I would highly suggest that. Yeah, you must get this. The person asking this must get this a lot. I just don't see this a lot. What's the best way to stress the importance to get together both the husband and wife? I don't know, man. I've prospected quite a few people, and I've been in this business for quite a while. I just haven't run into that very much. I really haven't, man. I'm not sure. And it's interesting, in network marketing, whatever your biggest deal is, that is what you will continually get. I know some people that they're not sure about whatever, what's an example? They think that everyone thinks it's a pyramid, right? So that's what they see. Do you realize I never get that? I never, ever, ever get that. Why? Because it's not one of my fears. Whatever you fear the most is what you will continually see over and over. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I'm not a quantum physics engineer or something like that. I don't know why, but I just know it's the truth. Whatever your biggest fear is, that's what you will continue to see over and over and over. And so maybe you've seen this multiple times and you're expecting it now. I'm not sure. I just don't see it that much. Let's see. Where do I start? I mean, this is kind of your question. Where do I start? You start by prospecting, whatever that means to you. You got to hit your prospecting numbers, or you simply won't build a business. That could be offline, it could be online, it could be with Facebook, it could be meeting people at events, it could be there's just a lot of different ways. It could be your warm market. Whatever. That's just your numbers. You got to hit your numbers here. Frank, I can't really understand what you're saying there. Sorry. This is a good question, Keith. How many times do I follow up after they've seen the presentation? This is my my personal approach. I contact them 3 times, okay? And so let's run a scenario. Let's say I talk to somebody and I say, how soon, I learned that from Chris Kent, how soon can you watch this video? And if they say, well, you know what, I think I can watch it at 3 o'clock Eastern. All right, perfect. Well, tell you what, I'm real busy, but I'm going to call you at 4 p.m. Eastern and we can talk about it. So I call them at 4 p.m. Guess what? It goes to their voicemail. I say, hey there, Joe. Joe, this is Ray. I promised you I'd call you at 4 o'clock. You're probably tied up or something like that. Give me a call when you get a chance. I hang up. Now let's say Joe doesn't call me back. I call him back the next day. Hey, Joe, you might have missed my message. No problem. Just give me a call. Let's see. And by the way, if you watched it and it's not a fit for you, Don't worry about it. No big deal. Just give me a call. Let me know. And if Joe still doesn't call me, I call him that next time. Hey, Joe. Joe, this clearly isn't a fit for you. You obviously are not interested in making an income with Numis Network. Totally cool. I will never be calling you again, Joe. I wish you the best. Do you know which voicemail gets me the most calls? That last one. Because it's all about the takeaway. What do you mean he's not going to call me every day anymore? They get worried and they call you. Numis University, the most recent one took place in Vegas. They have had them in Tampa as well. The next one has yet to be announced. What if silver goes over $100 an ounce? How much will the coin of the month cost? Isn't it cool? We can even have that conversation. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat that, Ray, if the coins that I've collected up to now quadruple or triple in price and value, what will we do? Well, you know what? We're all going to be doing a little high five. Okay, we're all going to high five each other. We're all going to say yes, yes. All right, we're going to be pumped up and excited. But here's the reality. There are hundreds of thousands of other coins that the U.S. Mint and other government mints create that have lesser denominations of silver in them, such as all the different proof coins, proof dimes, proof quarters, proof nickels, proof half dollars. So the reality is, if silver goes over $100 an ounce, will we sell more silver or less? Well, we'll actually sell more. Did you see the trend in real estate? When did people start buying real estate? When it started skyrocketing. Did you see the trend in stocks? When did people start buying stocks? When it started skyrocketing. People kind of ignored it before then. Okay, so actually the reality is when silver goes over $100 an ounce, do you realize how easy it's going to be to sign people up in a Numis network? Okay, now I don't know if it will. A lot of people are predicting that. Okay, but what I would imagine and what I've heard from the founders and the leaders is that we would more than likely go to a smaller denomination of coin and keep the auto ship affordable for everybody else. But all of us here on this line, we're going to be giving high fives. How do I go about inviting prospects to register for the webinars? Real simple and straightforward. I say, hey, what are you doing at 8 o'clock Eastern? Perfect. Well, tell you what, I got this thing, you should check it out. It may or may not be for you. Here's the link, go there, watch it, and I'll call you afterwards. Real straightforward. I'm at every Numis University, absolutely. I do not, and I've said this before. Personally, I do not send a prospect to numisnetwork.com. The only reason I don't, this is just me personally, okay? The only reason I don't is there are 5,200 different buttons they can press. And I know that 99% of the people online have ADD. They get distracted, they lose concentration. That's why I send them to one of my videos, because they got one thing to press, and that's play. They press play, they watch the video, we're good to go. So I don't send people to numisnetwork.com because they don't know what buttons to click, they don't know what to do. There's a whole bunch of different things there. So that's what I do anyway. But good question. Yes, I have. I mean, the majority of people that I prospect, I do, unless there's an event right in my area, or I'm, of course, doing an event in my area, I have people watch the online videos. How would I suggest someone market Numis if time is an issue for them because of their current employment? Here's the real simple answer. You have to weigh how much pain do you associate with continuing your employment forever versus the inconvenience of spending time prospecting. One of them will win. If you are okay with the pain of working for 50 years for somebody else and never breaking out of that mold, then you will simply continue doing that instead of building Numis Network. Now, I know some people that work 10 hours a day, but they still spend a half hour a day prospecting. These are people that are of extreme pain. They have extremely little excuses, and they go and make it happen. I know other people that work 5 hours a day that don't have 1 minute extra to spend toward Numis Network because Dances with the Stars is on and Housewives of Orange County or Miami or Jersey or whatever the heck it is. I don't watch any of that stuff, so I don't know what it's called, but they have all these other baloney things that have filled up their time. Here's what I know. You can't get something that you've never had without doing something that you've never done. And so it is not a let me try to squeeze Numis Network in. It is what are you going to sacrifice? What are you going to stop watching American Idol for the first time? You know, is this the year that you break the trend? Are you going to go on an American Idol patch, right? What are you going to stop doing to allow you the time to do Numis Network? And that's completely up to you. If you're having a hard time getting people to watch your presentation, it's two things. Number one, and the main point, is posture. If you have a pretty please with sugar on top attitude to get people to watch a presentation, they won't. Okay? If you have a posture, how does David Wood get so many people to watch a presentation? Because he's got unbelievable posture. Unbelievable posture. Okay? The less that you care if someone joins or not, the more powerful you are. And so if you're having a hard time getting people to watch it, you're lacking posture. And, you know, and the other thing, part two, is numbers. You're not talking to enough people. If you're talking to, 5 people with weak posture, it's not surprising that you're not having anyone watch the presentation. I mean, I apologize. I know that's probably a little abrupt, but yeah. Do I have an approach for athletes? We have a lot of athletes in Numis Network. I don't know. I guess the approach with athletes is, well, once you're 35, you hardly make any money anymore. So, for athletes, it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes athletes are actually worse off than people working a job, because at least people working a job can continue doing whatever they're doing, until they're 80, or 70, right? Athletes, you got until about 35, maybe 40, depending on the sport, I guess. But I guess I would talk to them about, hey, what are you going to do once you're not, super famous and on the front cover of Wheaties? The auto ship is, currently 109. As the price continues to increase, I imagine there's going to be adjustments there. How can I find meetings in West Palm Beach, Boca, or Los Angeles? You would log into your back office, click on calendar, and you can find them there. I don't know off the top of my head about West Palm Beach or Boca. You gotta check that out. How does someone upgrade to executive? Good question. I believe there used to be a button there, but I don't know that it's still there. I think you go under order products, and there should be like a fast track collector kit there, or you can contact support and they can help you out with that. Big Mac, you used my newest video and received a call from a guy in California. Good for you. Very cool. Should you upgrade now before you try to sign up anyone else? Well, you should. I'll tell you, one thing that, I heard Zig Ziglar say, he said that he was trying to sell, he was going door to door selling pots and pans, and he couldn't sell a lick until he actually bought the set. Okay? When you buy the set, when you buy what you actually are selling and you believe in it more, you're going to get more sales. You're going to get more people interested. Yes, people that use the Post-it notes. I know a lot of people use the online videos, certainly. Are travel expenses to Numis U a tax write-off? I mean, isn't it for your business? I mean, aren't you getting in a plane to go and learn something for your business? Yeah. Aren't you staying in a hotel for a business purpose? Yeah, of course. I'm not your CPA, but I'll tell you what my CPA says, and he says it's good to go. Those are travel expenses. When is Chris Kent coming to Hawaii? He is there March 12th. That is in the back office. If you're in Hawaii, hopefully you're promoting that event. The link says do not share it. I do not know what you mean here. I come from a sales background. Good. I'm welcome. I'm glad that you're opening up here. You'll only make so much as sales. As a salesperson, and you're used to closing, you're used to being a lone wolf, you're used to doing everything yourself. I've been in sales. Okay, I've been there. You're just not as efficient, and you won't make as much money if you continue to operate as a salesperson. You have to be duplicatable. So what is it? You're saying less to more people, because that makes you more duplicatable. You're using third-party resources to allow people to use that third-party. Think about this. Salesman or not, can you invite people to watch an online presentation? Of course you can. No question. Okay. Salesman or not, can you get a leader on the phone to do a three-way call? Of course you can. And so the more that you don't do, and the more that you allow the tools and the other leaders to do the heavy lifting, the better you will grow. Recorded sizzle call, I'd suggest recording one. People ask me about that, and I've yet to use one in my 18 months here. If you want a sizzle call, record one. I don't think it's that difficult for you. All right, let's see. How soon should I record my own videos? It's your call. It reduces your duplication ability when you record your own videos, and so it's kind of risk reward there. It's kind of your call. The reality is you never have to. So it's not a requirement, but you can if you'd like. Okay. When you send the video, should you also add some kind of copy or something? I don't. I'm very hypey when I send that link. Because I want to raise curiosity. If someone tries to hype me when they send me a link, I probably won't open it. Two people have pitched their MLMs to me in the last year. I didn't buy from them. How do I approach those people? I would approach them exactly like I approach everybody else, and I'd say, hey, I understand you're in your network marketing company, but are you open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? And if you are, then watch this video. So, we always make it too complicated. The BMW is very nice. Thank you. Do I have to get people to join Numis to get the auto ship coin? No. There is on your Shop Numis site, they can sign up just for the auto ship and you get a retail commission, so that's fine. Go for it. Haha, I love this question. I'm 63 years young on disability income. Is it too late to get this business going? You should probably ask a young lady named Conchita Carrero. Conchita Carrero out of Henderson, Nevada. She is 78 years old, and her record is 6 executives in 1 week. So I guess not. I guess you're not too old. This webinar is this webinar right here that I just did is a recording of the 900 the 9 o'clock p.m. members only webinar. So yes, this is not to be shared. The 9 o'clock is for members only on Tuesday nights. But I am recording this and I'm going to put it on our training page that other people can use. All right. Well, I think we're winding down here, guys. And if you have questions that I didn't get to cover, feel free to email me. at rayhigdon@rayhigdon.com. I hope you found this informative. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed spending time with you guys. Hopefully I didn't beat some of you up too much, but I would rather be the guy beating you up than the world out there. And so I tell you from experience, I've been on more three-way calls than probably anyone else in the company, and I've done probably more presentations than anyone in the company. Maybe Chris Ken has done more than me. I don't know. But I appreciate and love you guys. We're on just a real fast track here. Use this guarantee. Don't forget about it. We are simply lower risk than any other network marketing company. And I'll tell you, 2011, this is our year, guys, to really take it and run with it. Appreciate you guys and look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.